Hi guys, we didn't see each other for a while. The season is coming. We are seeing each other in completely different scenery because this is Egypt, Soma Bay, one of the most beautiful places in the whole world for windsurfing and in general for water sports. For sure one of my favorite. Here we have one of my clinics where we train and advance with my friends. And we're gonna enjoy windsurfing for sure, but also we're gonna talk about some gear. I will take you with me on the board so you can see how marvelous windsurfing in Egypt is. And I hope one day you will travel to this place. And for now, let's enjoy some windsurfing. So during the week, I was testing very interesting combination. Of course, I used my favorite board of all times, the Isonic, Starboard Isonic 67. This board is unbelievable. It's a board that I can use in super light wind conditions and super strong wind conditions. And I think this board easily can qualify for one board for all. I tried it in 15, 12 knots, and I tried it in 35 knots. It's really marvelous. And the nice surprise, the big surprise of this video is the fins that I prepared. And the first fin that I tested here in Egypt on this Isonic, it's kind of a small Isonic, but because it's 110 liters, I tried it here with 8.2 Neil Pride Evo 15 sail. The first fin is the super mighty, super light wind machine. It's a light wind monster. It's a brand new fin that I made, a slalom fin, 60 cm long. It was still a little bit wet. It's such a nice fin, you know, it gives such a good pressure, such unbelievable pressure point and ability to go upwind, and the most important, it planes in nothing. The feeling for me is like I'm on the foil. I can go upwind, I can go downwind, I can go fast, but I can do it in super light winds. So this fin gave me a lot of pleasure because I could use it in extremely marginal conditions. So having this small board with 8-meter sail gave me opportunity to really take advantage of super light wind conditions. So it was nice. 60 centimeter fin on the Isonic 67, marvelous. And I was thinking that might be there will be a feeling that the board wants to twist, it wants to flip over. But because due to my geometry of my fins that are more raked back, this was not the case. The board was feeling steady, very stable, very safe, but still slippery and fast. And the nose of the board was sitting high, so it was very pleasant to go. The feeling was great. And then in the day, the wind picked up, so I didn't change the sail, I just changed the fin. And the second one I went for was the same fin, but 50 cm long, which is 10 cm shorter. And this fin also qualifies for light wind performance, but it was a little bit faster. It was a little bit, more aggressive and a little bit more alive than the 60, but the 60 is the design for inland conditions where it's really gusty and sometimes it's completely nothing. And I really believe that the 60 can replace the foil completely. So you will not need the foil because you will enjoy the 16 super light wind conditions. Then the 50 could be a light wind option for super light guys. I am almost 100 kilograms, so I'm heavy. But if you're like 70 kilos, then it's windy today, guys. We have around 30 knots today, so it's rather windy. Okay, let's go back to the topic. The 50 would be a light wind fin option for a lighter guy, like the 70 kilo guy. I think it's marvelous. For me, as I'm 100, almost 95 kilos, I think this fin is really good for 12 knots up to 17 knots, it's really performing well. But then I went further with my test, and I've put on this board, Isonic 67, I've put my fin length of 40 centimeters. And of course the wind picked up. It was already maybe 17 knots, maybe 16, 17 knots. Here in Egypt the wind is very steady, so it's not so gusty, so I could really make a proper test in very steady conditions. And the 40 feels really good and feels really, really steady, really nice. So the 40 is the fin for this board that it's already giving the board possibility to go almost full speed. But then again, the wind picked up, and I've put on this board my fin 30. Remember, this is still the same board, Isonic 67. This is model 2024. And I've put the fin 30, and it performed marvelous. Of course, the wind was already above 20 knots, maybe 25. I already jumped on my 6.5 Neil Price sail, so much smaller. And then it was mind-blowing. In these strong conditions, this fin 30 with this board gave me a combination for breaking a speed world record. It was so nice because the board is designed in the way that the area of the bottom is almost exactly the same like the Isonic 63, which is very common board for high winds. So in these conditions, 30 fin with 6.5 sail with this board, I felt super safe, super controllable, and the wind was blowing constant 25 knots, which was good. And this, I think, surprising combinations for most of the riders, it's actually very nice because we can travel the world with one board, with Isonic 67, 110 liters, with 2 sails, and we can really take advantage of all conditions that are on most spots around the world. And also, I'm living on the lake, very near the lake, and my home spot is the lake. So this combination gives me opportunity to windsurf in super light wind conditions like the foils do, but also in super strong wind conditions, having just 2 sails, 1 board, and 4 fins. And that's it. I think this is a solution for most of the guys because you're carrying very little equipment and you're using very wide range of conditions. So I encourage you to try it. I must tell you that my fins have a special design to keep the board high, to make it fly. So even when the fin is very long, you never have a situation that the nose is glued to the water. The board sits always very high, and you don't change the trim when you change the fins. The fins keep the trim of the board high, which is nice. I didn't find it in other fins in the world, that's why I designed my own fins. So this is something super pleasant, and I hope you will use this because it took me some time to prepare this test and also to perform it in proper conditions like here in Egypt. So I encourage you, try it, and now let's watch some windsurfing. Thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed for sure. This place is marvelous. This is windsurfing paradise and I travel the whole world around and I'm sure that this is one of the best places in the world. So I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed for sure and hope to see you next time.